In the Bible, we read that a friend of Jesus named Lazarus died. And when he heard the news, he waited to go to him. As a matter of fact, he didn't get there till about the fourth day. And when he came, there were people weeping. Now, in the Jewish tradition, there was the belief, not founded in the Bible, but a belief nevertheless, that the spirit of a departed person hovered around until after the third day and then departed. And so Jesus made sure that he got there on the fourth day when their superstition, if you will, was nullified. And they began to say to him, Lord, if you had only been here, my brother would not have died. That was Mary and Martha, you see, who had come out to him, friends of Jesus. And Jesus said, I am the resurrection and the life. He that believes in me, though he were dead, yet shall he live. And whosoever liveth and believeth in me shall never die. And then he said, do you believe that? And once again they said, yes, we believe that when the Messiah comes, this is going to happen. But he went groaning in spirit to the place where Lazarus was. And with a loud voice, he said, Lazarus, come forth. And the dead man, bound up with grave clothes and the embalming wrappings that were upon him, came walking out of the tomb. And Jesus said, loose him and let him go free. So the first thing we see about Jesus is victory over death. Now, this was not the only incident in the ministry of Jesus where he conquered death. There was a widow of a place called Nain, and there was a funeral procession going along, people weeping, and he went over to the bier that they were carrying the young man on, the son of this widow, and spoke to him to get up, and he did. So Jesus was saying, in my lifetime, I have victory over death. But it didn't stop there, obviously. We have the miracle of his own resurrection. Now, a resurrection is different from what happened to Lazarus and the son of the widow of Nain. In both of these two earlier cases, they were resuscitations. The same body came back, and there was life or spirit back into this body of clay, and it resumed its former activity. In the case of Jesus, he was brought back in a new resurrected body, a spiritual body, if you will, which was not limited so much in time and space as a material body. He could go through doors. He could come out of a grave that was sealed by a rock. He could appear to a number of people and then vanish because he had a resurrection body. And when you look at Christianity, you see incredible proof that Jesus was raised from the dead. We mentioned in the Bible 500 people who saw him. And the Apostle Paul said, as somebody born out of season, he said he appeared to me. And more than anything, the Apostle Peter said what happened on the day of Pentecost is an example that Jesus really got there, because in essence, he said, he poured out what you see and hear today. And so when the power of the Spirit of God came down, Peter said, he's ascended up into heaven. He lives. He has come into heaven. And he poured out what you see and hear this day. And finally, when we think of Jesus as resurrection and life, we have to think of our resurrection. And this is what has been called the blessed hope of the church. That one day the Lord will descend with a shout of command, with the voice of the archangel, the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise. And we which remain will be transformed in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, and we will be caught up to be with the Lord, and so we will ever be with the Lord. And the Bible tells us that we shall be like him, for we will see him as he is. He is the captain, if you will, the first fruits of the salvation that will belong to all believers. And this is the belief of the church. I believe in the resurrection of the body. Jesus Christ, resurrection and life.